So you have a new project, you're getting ready to end your first sprint. Your first sprint, at the end of that, you're going to have some features that actually work. So that's the time you need to sit down and figure out, what am I going to test? You need to create a task list. What features are actually working? Is the login feature working? Is the create account feature working? Those are definitely probably two of the first few things that you do on a website is you get your customers, and then you work on everything else that the customers are going to be doing. So in a first sprint, that would be a good thing to test. So you have to create that task list. It's going to change every sprint as they start adding new features to the website. Again, you have to have the communication with the development team to make sure that they're done and they're ready. So just some examples: book an appointment, find a dentist, cancel an appointment, add something to the shopping cart, make a payment, or actually order something out of the shopping cart. Just anything that you're used to doing on a website is something that you can test. So you're going to create the task list. The task list is going to be short. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that task list and you're going to expand it into a scenario. The scenario is that what you want to give to the test subject. So basically you're going to take it and type it up, and it typically fits on a half sheet or less of paper. We don't need to put this on a full sheet of paper. It should never be that detailed that it fit on a full sheet of paper. So we'd take that, book an appointment, and we'd create a scenario. Just create something that'll work on your website. You need to book an appointment for your 14-year-old daughter to get her teeth cleaned. Has to be after school, and it can only be Wednesday through Friday. Okay, so you're going to type that up and present it to your test subject. You're going to sit it down in front of them. They're going to read it. They're going to ask you if they have any questions on it. And they shouldn't have any questions, so you should be running through these scenarios, showing them to other people. They can be on the development team. That's okay. Just have everybody on the development team read through it. Make sure that it's understandable before it's given to a test subject. Okay, so they have their scenario. Unless you want to test your search feature, you want to tell them, do not use your search feature. Okay, and you had that question, and honestly, the majority of class members were search dominant. They were more search dominant than they were link dominant. So most users are going to go to that search button, and you're trying to basically test without that search button. So you want to make sure that they understand that as well. Okay, there's a link to a great site out here that I'll pull up. This is a checklist. Now this is a pretty detailed checklist, and not everything on here may fit your project or your company, but this is a great starting point. I highly recommend you take this checklist, you narrow it down to what works for your team. So basically 3 weeks out, figure out what you're going to be testing. So you hopefully by then you know if it's wireframing, prototyping, or if it's an actual sprint release. You then need to start creating your task list. Decide what kind of users you want to test with. Find some participants. Get creative. Figure out where you're going to book this. Maybe you have a spot already within your organization that you always use for this, which would be great because then you wouldn't have to set it up every single time. Make sure that the facilitators that are watching this, the observers, that they have a place as well. That's your observation room. I guess I'm just thinking of things and I'm not actually reading what's going on here. So about 2 weeks before, you want to get a feedback on your tasks, maybe from the production team. Maybe they had to pull some of those out. They weren't ready. So we need to narrow that down. Arrange incentives. Are you giving them gift cards? Are you actually paying them cash? Are you feeding them? I don't know. What are you using for your incentive to get these people to come in? Everybody's busy, and I highly recommend that you use incentives. You will definitely get more people there. Putting them into your time slots. Okay, that's 2 weeks ahead. 1 week ahead, of course, we're going to send them an email with where you're at, what to expect, that type of thing. So 1 or 2 days before, you definitely want to reconfirm with them to make sure. We don't want anybody's time wasted on this. We want to make sure our room, I highly suggest you test out the room every time, even though it worked perfectly last time. You never know who was in that room since then. It works the same way here with classes. Everything is supposed to be perfect, and then you walk in and nothing works the way it should. The participants are going to get frustrated at that point, and they're probably not going to hang around too long. So you definitely want to do that as well. So all these are pretty straightforward. Make your copies and get your lunch if you're feeding them, and uh, make sure that everything is quick and easy when they come in. You don't want to be searching for your website. That should be bookmarked, and whatever you're testing them on. Everything should be just quick and easy for the user that's coming in to do the testing for you.